Jackpot, baby! Look at all the books!
Oh my god, you're such a Tsundoku.
The hell's a Tsundoku?
Means you have too many damn books.
No, I don't.
Today we're talking about Tsundoku. People who buy too many books, but don't read them.
I read.
So, Omar.
Hey.
Rob. You guys have a problem.
Okay, is this our come to Jesus alcohol?
Yeah, so basically I want to talk about Tsundoku. So Japan has their own term for people who buy not Sudoku.
You're an idiot.
Not the
People
math,
who buy too many books but then don't read them. So people who have just they hoard and they pile books.
I don't read.
And don't read them. But I think we could talk about the things that we have many of.
Oh shit, this is an
them.
intervention
This is an intervention.
Because you give it a hard time all the time, right, Rob? Because you're like, here's all the video games I buy, and then we're all like, what'd you play?
What you played? Nothing.
And then Omar, I mean, look at all
Guilty.
of these books, but
I have read.
What's
a
your percentage?
Shit ton. That's gone down a lot. That's probably about 70% of 70 to 72%.
Including everything that you're receiving.
Including, yes, because I have to a lot of the times though, because I have to do reviews, or I'm just curious about reading the stuff before I do a video. So doing this channel has helped me read a lot of things.
And all the
true.
anime that you're buying?
That was a drunken moment and a moment of weakness.
See, I knew there was going to be a gotcha moment.
So for me, with video games,
Bitch is a connoisseur! You brought up the drunken Omar. I was drunk and ordering anime. That's a one time a year thing. I get that once a year, right?
has that happened this year yet? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's happened. That's right.
You don't watch our shows, do you?
Good stuff.
You bastard. All right, what's your
Okay,
excuse?
so for me with video games, I will say I've gotten a little better. Because there was
We're gonna do a haul episode, so we'll see.
So that means I can go into your house and I can open everything up.
No, he does something stupid. He keeps it sealed and then he buys a digital copy of it. Which makes no sense because he still doesn't play the fucking games.
I beat Resident Evil. Thank you very much. And Red Dead Redemption 2, the best open world game ever made. Okay, so this is what I've come to a conclusion. I have gotten a little bit better because there was a run where it was just like, ooh, this new limited run game's coming out. Oh, this game is coming out. Oh, this game's coming out. And I would get all these games, right? And they'd be like, all right, I gotta play some of these games. And they would just sit there because I would be trying to play something else, and then all these things would be concurrent. And I only have so much time to after the kids go to bed, the wife's asleep, and I'm not trying to go to sleep myself. I have an hour or so to play this game. So games that should be quick, like I talked about Resident Evil 2, that's a 10-hour game. I should have beaten that in one night. No, that took me months to get through, to get all the endings, da-da-da. So I have learned, okay, if I'm going to purchase a game other than limited run games like Metal Slug 3, oh my god, Metal Slug 3, you like to play Metal Slug. Okay, other than if it's not like that, if I know I'm not going to actually sit down and play it, I've said no to playing these games, because if I look at my pile of shame.
Did you say no to playing or buying?
I love the
He is saying no to buying.
But my pile of shame, my mountain of shame, it's not a pile. My mountain of shame is so huge, it's okay, this is not sustainable. And the other thing is, so my wife is awesome. This is a little side story. My wife is awesome. And during spring break, I was like, babe, there's literally, it was a mountain of shame. I should have taken a picture of it. Maybe I did. If I did, it's right here. It's babe, this is not good. We really need to clean these things up. And she's she likes the Container Store like I like GameStop and Retro Game Store. So she was and this is 8 o'clock at night, and drove 100 miles to go to the Container Store. Babe, where are you going? Go to the Container Store. She came back with all these shelves, put them together throughout the night, and some of them have sliding doors and stuff. Some are like this. And
You got shelves now?
Yeah, I have the games are in
Bitch,
shelves.
why ain't you doing a tour yet?
We'll get there. So everything's in shelves, and everything's in it. Looks all nice and pretty. And then after I saw, this is the thing, because everything was in a pile, you don't really know what you have. But then when it's all in a shelf and you see it, you're like,
man,
oh my gosh.
There's nothing like that feeling though. Yeah. Because when I moved to a new house, that was kind of my combination. I was the two of you in one, because I was like, oh shit, I have all this stuff. But I can organize it and make it beautiful. So all my games are closed away in this really nice cabinet. So you walk into my living room and you don't see any of the geeky stuff. But then I'm like, sup bitch, it's right here. And then you go back to my comic book room, which is the dedicated nerd space of the house, and all of that is beautifully put together. All nice matching shelves, everything is just kind of balanced together, and it looks beautiful. Now, that doesn't help me go through it all still, because unfortunately I have to put the books away to be able to live and focus on my life.
Sure.
But it's
So you
a little,
just shut the door?
It's almost more helpful to have a pile of shame. So you
Yeah,
know,
'cause
you're like,
know.
okay, I gotta get through these, you know?
So the thing that's stopping me now is so now everything's out and everything's this, and so like for a while I was still buying games like with Want and Abandoned, and then like I had to try and put them away, and I can't put them away, and that's it. It was like, okay, I have run out of shelf space. I have run out of space to buy another shelf. I have to stop. I have to start moving stuff out, so I have to start letting it go.
You don't believe in selling, though. That's the difference between
Why
you and
would I
I.
sell a thing?
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't sell either though, Rob.
What?
No.
My wife made me
I
sell.
will get rid of duplicates and
horrible
I'll take
person.
them to half price
I love
books.
your wife. She's not horrible.
But for the majority of things, I just don't sell them.
You guys don't sell anything you own?
I
Like,
sold
really?
one time. I sold Deadly Towers for the Nintendo, and I felt bad about it, and I bought it back a year later.
It happens to me all the
30
time.
years ago.
Because when I was younger, I would give away games to friends or something. I'm like, oh, you can have it.
But
it's
you
fine.
miss it.
And
I
I
just
will
get
never
the
forget
Transformer.
any piece of game that I've given away because I still think about them. Like Tina and her Pee Wee Herman doll. I will, because there's games I
creepy
gave to
ass
friends
doll.
or I lent out that I no longer have in my possession or that I was careless with. So I'm like, what was I thinking? I need to have these with me at all times.
I've given video games to you before.
Yeah.
And I've given Transformers to Dan. I think I've given you something and you something. But I also have a pile of shit that I need to read. So how does that... So Tsundoku...
Tsundoku.
Tsundoku.
It's like
Tetsunoku versus
yeah.
Capcom.
No, I don't think it will go.
Like take like it's like like a tsunami.
Yeah.
Doku.
Okay, so what is the opposite of that? What is somebody that doesn't give a shit that their books
Marie
are stacked?
Kondo.
No,
I mean,
no.
I love her. Can we talk about her?
Absolutely.
Can we talk
That
about
would
her?
absolutely. You Mary Kondo that shit away.
You get that
So you
fucking
mean-
crazy woman away from my books.
My wife loves Marie
Who?
Kondo.
What is the opposite of Marie Kondo?
A Tsundoku.
Yeah.
Or a hoarder? A hoarder, right?
Well, is this really hoarding though? Is this just buying a bunch
Well,
of
I've
things
always
and
heard
not reading it versus-
hoarding is if you have shit on the floor. That's what I've heard. Don't look. Damn it! Keep your eyes on me.
It's out of the camera. I'm looking at a
Exhibit A.
pile.
Eyes up here. Damn it! Look, that's because I have to do a haul video.
What about that?
That's the haul video.
I'm going to post pictures of these.
No, that's the haul. You can't. Some of that stuff's not out yet. But
Well, I can't.
in all seriousness, like, that's what I've always heard the definition between, or the difference between a hoarder and a collector is. A collector has his stuff nicely displayed and on shelves, whereas a hoarder refuses to get rid of things and would rather stack them on the floor because he is out of space. Now,
I think a
where am I?
collector came up with language like that.
Okay,
to
yes, we
defend their-
did.
Yeah, I
we did.
definitely think
I don't
that
care.
it's-
That's justification
But
for
I honestly, I do agree that like sometimes like Marie Kondo is the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, like
No,
I think
what
no,
is wrong with you?
Here's what I'm saying
She's
though.
awesome, and she's
my collection does bring me joy. It really does. And so I take the time to make sure it's like aesthetically pleasing in my house, right? And that it's a fixture of my house, almost like a decoration, because that matters. Like I think you should be able to walk in the room and be like, yeah, this looks really great, and feel some pride in it. And if it's gotten
That's
to the
what
point
I'm at
where
right now.
if
Right.
you walk in, you're like,
This is too
this
much.
is overwhelming.
Yeah.
This is way too much. I have. Then you're like, okay, maybe you should.
But I
rethink
think
about
it's
it.
also how you're able to display, because somebody's like, this, if it wasn't put together on a shelf, it would be like a hoarder mess. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, but-
I could make a house out of this shit.
This is nice.
Yeah, that's
it's a
good.
collection now. You've put it together.
Yeah,
It looks nice. It's
I have my own
not
little library down here.
It's not overwhelming.
No, well, I mean, to some people,
Maybe to some people, it does
like
not.
size doesn't bother me
pleasing.
at all. I'm not
Crazy.
as scared of how
Crazy.
many books you all have.
So what's the difference between a gatherer and a collector?
Gatherer is a bullshit RPG
Well, I think
term that
Tina
you're
does a
giving
good
yourself.
I mean, I would be
think
more
Tina
like a
does it- her
gatherer
collection
type.
isn't-
It's not overwhelming. It's when you walk in my house, it's definitely a nerd house. Like you walk in and there's like artist prints, you know, and
Funky.
2 detolfs full of. I mean, you can
Tina
tell the
on the
difference.
couch.
There is, yeah. There's Tina on the couch with my cats. But my wife's shelf's very nicely put together. There's a few figures here and there, and then there's my shelf, which looks more like Omar's. Like,
Why would you say it with that tone? That shelf.
Some people like give their like
artful
figures
estate, like,
space in between,
and mine's just like, Here's the thing I really like with all this other crap around it that I
got
really
it.
like.
I'm Latino. We have no personal spaces. Therefore, my figures are cool, touching nut to butts. They are nut to butts right now.
No,
and they're
nuts
okay
to
with it.
bolts.
But the one thing you would
Transformers.
notice is my game collection. Like, my wife literally, I don't know all the titles that's in my collection because she's put it in our daisies and, like, stacked it 3 deep and hidden it away.
Oh boy. Now,
Yeah.
see, that's not the way a collection should be. Like, you told the
I
story.
live in a tiny house,
I
Rob.
understand.
No, that's not a tiny house. I've seen tiny houses. You live in a normal people house. You just have a room designated to cosplay, a cat room.
I will say
and-
that before this last month, your cosplay room could be Tsundoku level.
There you go.
There you go. There
See,
you
you're judging
go.
me.
Because
Let me
cosplay,
judge
we
you.
hoard fabric.
No, that,
Yeah, wait a minute.
Maybe
I've
we'll
seen
need
both of
this
your
one
alls.
day.
Both of your alls.
okay, my
Yours,
cosplay room.
yours looks good now.
So today we schooled Omar on Tsundoku. Basically, all of us fall into that category, just collecting all that stuff, but not having time to get to them. What about you guys? Do you have too many books? Too many video games? Too many toys? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our Patreon and all of our social media at NearMintCon. Thanks, guys.
Maddie, one take. Woohoo! Jackpot, baby!
Oh my god, Omar, you're such a Tsundoku.
Sorry. Timing.
Jackpot! Where's Maddie?
Oh my god.
Let's do that again.
I was coming.
No. Help! They're going.